Okay. Ground rule. The one I ask you to do, you won't do it. I say put camera, you don't put camera. Then you go put your audio, which I did ask you to put. Which one now? Shame. All right. What I'm going to do tonight is I don't have notes, so it's going to be practical. You watch how I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a work breakdown structure in Freedcamp, and it's expected that every of you are going to move to Freedcamp, create a work breakdown structure, plan your project so that you start monitoring your project, start tracking your project, start everything you need to do, monitoring and control, start collaborating with every other persons. You know, this project, we are not going to be managing the project on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is just for, you know, fast communication, but the main place we are going to manage the project is Freedcamp. And what is Freedcamp? Freedcamp is a project collaborative tool, is a project collaborative environment. Freedcamp is like popularmonday.com. We have Asana, we have Basecamp, we have Trello, we have, there are so many of them. I'll give you an example. We have ClickUp. These are project collaborative environment. You know, I hear someone saying that Freedcamp is a CRM system. As a matter of fact, Freedcamp is not a CRM system. So it's not a CRM, it's for project management. So that is it. And I cannot ask you to go and manage a project. Some of us, this is the first time we're managing a project. And the first time some of us are using Freedcamp. So it's expected that I should have at least a brief workshop before I can expect you to do what is expected of you. So, and I see so many of you, a lot of you have been struggling. You don't know where to start. Some are even diving into project charter. Some I see this effort. I like the effort, but the issue there is that it's because you didn't plan your project. If you are planning your project and break down your work, you should be able to know where to start. But you see, everybody's talking about project charter, and I don't think it's time for project charter. We are still a bit far from project charter. Yeah. But if you've done it, good and fine, you can keep it. And yeah. I will start sharing my screen. And yeah. First, I will share the whole screen. It will be easier for me to navigate from one window to another window. Okay, just a second. If the I'm sharing the screen already, but it's going to pop up very soon. All right. So going to start from here. Think I've shared this before. This is the template we are going to use for this project. So, and in this template, you can see we have 4 stages in this project. That is a project life cycle. We have initiate, we have define, and we have execute, we have closure. And each of the stage have key tasks we want to deliver here. And equally, we see all the owners of every of these activities. So either you call it task or activity. So if you see, call it project task or activity. So yeah, because you'll be seeing it. So so many cases we use this towards interchangeable. You can use activity, you can use tasks. So, and the outcome of these tasks is what we call deliverable. So, and this is Freedcamp. In this Freedcamp, you can see we have a lot of projects going on. If this is different groups of here. So, yeah. Let me go to the home. This is home. The home interface of Freedcamp. You have a dashboard where you see something like that. You see a lot of activities and things like that. And you only see yourself in the projects you are in. So you are not going to see yourself in all the projects like, because I'm in all these projects. That's why you see all these projects. So, and from here, you manage the system. This is where if you want to manage your group, which some of you will give you maybe higher rights. So this is the groups we have here. We have Anambra group, we have Rivers group, we have Abuja group, we have Enugu group, and we have Lagos group. So these are all the groups we have in this project. And you must find yourself in one of these groups. And all these groups, I want to manage them. Just come here, see this group. I've created one project for every group, and this to pay CRM implementation project. So if you see yourself, you must see at least one project in your group. And if I want to create another project, I'll come over here and create another project. And here I onboarded all of you here as admin, so you have reasonable rights to do your work, permission. So we have different, we have a pro user, but admin is the main person here. And this is this person, this Chineyaba, and I use the, so here I can set as group administrator. Yep. And yeah. So you cannot come and tell me I can't do this. If you have every other thing, and you see here, every other person here, they've all accepted. Let's scroll down. You see here, we have some people who have not accepted. We see this person, these three people, they are still pending. So, mean that you have not accepted your invite. So, if you are among the people that are still pending, go and accept your invite so you can have access to the group. We equally have users, we equally have guests. So, and you see, I didn't add you people as users or as guests, as added people as admin. So you have reasonable rights, and I've made the team lead, the group administrator, and that's it from here. This is the back end. So you can go to the back end through manage system. So back. So all this area is for configuration and the rest of them. So that's configuration. Yeah, if you want to add another group, you can do it from here. So new. So, and then let's go to where we have the project listing. From here is the projects. We have all these projects listed here from this. You see as highlighting is showing this is projects. So these are all the projects we'll go here, and I will use one of these to create whichever work I want to do. And here is tax board. I'm still coming back to the project. Let's just show us a bit of tax board. I use it to see the tax. And so these are all the projects I'm in. I can equally manage them from tax board. And this is so this is a milestone. If you've created milestone, you can manage your milestone or see a milestone from here as well. So, and we have calendar here. So you can manage your calendar from here. You can Once you schedule an activity here, it will be on your calendar. You can see all the things coming up for you and your team from the calendar. And if you expand here, you can see time bond. And you can equally see widgets. The widgets are just some tiny softwares that can help you do one thing or the other, and that's it. So the main important thing is from your project. All these things you can do them equally from your project, but for easy view, you can view them from here. So that's it. And for you to get the best out of this project collaborative environment, you need to have a system like a computer, a laptop, or whichever way, but using your mobile phone might be very difficult to participate very well. Like I said, yeah. So let's open one project. The project has been created, but if the project is not created, you can just add a project from here, or from the back end, you can equally add a project. You can reorder this project from here, and here you can customize this, but we don't have time for this. So let's look at how this, if we enter a project, all of you are now a part of project. You see here, you see all the project listed here as well. So you can open a project from here, and equally from this our dashboard. So let's start from here. Let's open a project. We're going to open one project. This project here is owned by Anambra Group. This project is owned by Rivers Group. This project is owned by Enugu Group. This project is owned by Anambra Abuja Group. And this project is owned by Lagos Group. These are the projects that concerns us. We have other projects here like ITSM project is not part of our business here. Is other boot camps going on here. So let me click on here. And like I said, you can click on here, you can click on here. If you are in your dashboard, you are going to only see one project in your dashboard, and that is the project that you are in. If you are in two projects, you see the two projects. If you are in three projects, you see three projects in your dashboard. So this is Anambra, and yeah, okay. So I've opened Anambra. You can see that in Anambra is the whole thing here is vacant. There's nothing going on here. Nothing. So we need to plan the activity here so that it will look like a project environment. Let me show you an ongoing project so you see how it looks like. So that is what we plan to achieve, to transform this environment into a project environment. Okay, let's use this ITSM project here. I'll open it and you see how it looks like. So you see in ITSM here, you see work is broken down here into stages. See stages. And what you need to do, you need to break your work down into stages, and then you add activities underneath. That's what you do. Just like we see it in our Excel document. We cannot manage it from our Excel, and we cannot equally manage it from our project plan. So we need to manage them from here. This is the only place where we can collaborate to manage it. So that's why we're coming here. So the first thing to do is to create this list. Is what we're going to use to create phases, project phases. Break the project into 4 stages. This is where so many of us start struggling, but it's very easy. This is a list. You can come here, you add another list. Look at it here. After you add another list and another list and another list. So this is the first list. And what I will do is that instead of me deleting it or adding from, I'll just edit it and call it a phase. So I'll come to these 3 dots and open it. From here, I will edit this list. Okay, come over here, edit, and I will change it. You see it's task list. I will change it to initiate stage. Call it initiate stage, and I'll save. You see, that is the first, just like it is in our work breakdown structure. You come over here, I'll add another list, and I'll call it planning stage. And if I want it to be on top of this initiate stage, I will click on, but it should be under initiate stage, not on top. So I'll create, we come back again. I'll go back to this list. Don't go here. This is a task under the list or under the stages. That's what, don't go and start using these tags to create a phase. You use list to create a phase or a stage. And I'll create, I want 4 stages. Execute stage, and the final one is going to be closure stage. Closure stage, and that's it. So you see, we have started. This is now looking like, gradually looking like a home for our project. So, and this is from this, so we need to create all the activities or tasks, like I said. Here we have Let me finish creating this and I'll come here and explain all this. I've explained it somehow before, like I told you about milestone, time, calendar, and file and discussion. Let's finish this and I'll talk about this. Okay, the next thing is to break each stage down. Let's call it breakdown structure. We break them down into manageable tasks. And the first task here, what is our template saying? We're going to work from this template. The first thing is receive or create project brief and identify stakeholders and the expectation. Please put yourself on mute. Okay. First here is brief. You enter and you create another one. The next is identify. I will share the work breakdown structure template I'm using. So I think I've done that before, but I will still share it again immediately after this class. I'll upload it in our WhatsApp group, so you can start immediately if you wish. I identify. So we know how to identify stakeholders and their expectation, and that is stakeholder analysis. We've done that. And once you've done that, it's expected that you create a work breakdown structure. Plan your work. And then define roles and responsibilities. And identify scope of work, project scope. I think the network is a bit, can see is a bit slow here. Mm, oh, there is once we identify project role, um, need to create um assemble project team. All right. So during the project kickoff meeting, then because you have already created defined project roles and responsibilities through RACI metrics. So when we are having, you should authoritatively to tell your team members about discuss their project role during the kickoff meeting. So that's why you have to, these are all the things you need to do even before, as a project manager, before you call a meeting, assemble the project team. You must have defined their role. You must have created a work breakdown structure, which you are going to discuss with them. You must have had your first session with the stakeholders to understand the expectation. This is part of what we are going to discuss with the team. You must have received the project brief. All these are important because you are not just inviting them for a meeting to start watching them or to tell them, you make it in this project. Well done. No. No. As a matter of fact, I come here to talk, tell them about what they need to do, and they hit the ground running. So, and then everybody needs to then understand the scope, identify scope, and other things will follow. So, I'll create project scope. Then the BAs should be ready to start their requirement gathering. So you can see that project charter is the last document you need in this stage. Because at this stage, the main projects have not really started. All you are trying to do here is to initiate this project. You might try after the efforts to initiate this project to solve this problem, find out that the project will not continue, maybe because of the cost or because of any factor. So at this point, the business analyst is trying to sell a solution for this problem. After this solution evaluation, you need to show them the benefit they are going to get from this. So this is business analysis. We've not done that. These are things we are going to do in business analysis. And that's why I'm telling you, by Friday, we're going to start business analysis, because you can see some of the activities here is business analysis. So, but before you get to this point, we must have covered some of these things as we are starting business analysis. Is the duty of business analysis to create a business case as well? Business case is when you are making a case about the solution you've selected, trying to sell the solution, trying to pitch the solution, try to justify that the solution is going to bring benefits. And when the stakeholders, after going through your business case, they might accept or reject your solution. When they accept your solution, it means that, yes, they want this project to start. This is when the actual, all this is preliminary stage of this project. That's called it initiate. So, and once they agree, you create a project charter that will appoint a project manager. So in some cases, you find out that it might be only business analyst working at this stage. That's why it's important that you, as a business analyst, you must have project management experience. But in some cases, you find out that the company, they will, once they start, they appoint a project manager at this point. But if you are a project manager, at this point, you should be having a project charter to authorize you properly, because the project is going on now. He said so after reviewing business case and approve the solution in the business case. And that is when we have to start planning. That's what we call it, planning stage. We move to another stage. That is when the project manager will have to create a project plan. So, create a project plan. So the project plan now, it becomes the main. You must have created with work breakdown structure or whatever, is still not, because at this point, at business case, this project might end. I've seen so many projects that ended up at business case, ended up not continuing with the project. There's no need of project charter. There's no need of even pointing project manager. There's no need of project, because the project ended here. But if the project is continuing, it's expected that in some cases, you just, this is where you start as a project manager. From planning, you start with a project plan. They just brief you what you need to do. This at this point, this is where you are getting project brief. and do other things from here, because this is when you are being appointed. So here is project plan, and then at this point, the business analyst will translate business business requirements into technical requirements, which is creating product backlog. So what does this mean? At initiate stage, the requirement is here. You've done requirement analysis, is a requirement. You have a requirement, but this requirement is still called business requirement. This is what the business leaders want. You know, this is what the organization, this is the business need. Now, at this point, you need to, this business need, developers might not understand it the way it is at this stage. So you need to create it in such a way that developers will want, or developers will understand it. And that's what we call product backlog. Product, that is when you translate this business into technical. And that is what the developers understand. Call them user stories and acceptance criteria. And yeah, so then to break it more down, you need to create other diagrams as a business analyst, part of the plan. So here you need to create use cases. And use case diagram. In some cases, where you create a wireframe or mock-up, but we don't need it. I'll just keep what I'll make sure so that we don't need wireframe in this project. We don't need it. So if needed. Not needed in this project. And one more thing, create test plan and test cases. Yeah. And one deliverable here, the project manager should be having regular, at least once in a week, and this can bring this to the end. And then we move to the next stage, which is execute. Under execute, we are going to use mm, we are going to do it in agile environments. So the next thing is groom user stories and acceptance criteria, validate and sign off user stories. So you need to validate product backlog. So at this point, we are planning to move product backlog to um, Jira. So you can validate the product backlog. You need to move to Jira. And then move to Jira. And then plan sprint. And then conduct facilitate with the right word. And then here, is to I might not take questions because of time. So this is what I expect from all the team. Yeah. So you can see there's a lot of work going on here. No more cuddling. Yep. All right. That is it. And if you have a question, I have another class by half 8, half 9 Nigerian time. So this is what I want every team to do. This is for Anambra lucky them. I've helped them to do this, but yeah. So you watch the video and do your own. Chama Okafor.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Charles. Thank you very much for tonight's training. I don't have any question. Is with respect to the upload you made on risk management using RedLog and the risk register. So I was going through it today. I don't know if it was an omission, but I noticed that you didn't upload the document. That's a class document that you use in teaching us. So I don't know if it's an omission or you just want it to be that way. So I
Then you
just felt
contact the admin. You have introduced the admin for all these things. Contact them, let them know it's not uploaded, and they will upload it.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Mwikwa Dumdi.
Okay, Mr. Charles, good evening. Thank you very much for the class so far. My question is also in respect to the portal. While I went through the portal today, the classes that we had last week has not been uploaded. And for those of us
Last
that have,
week, are you sure of what you're saying? It's not true. I disagree with you on that. Maybe you don't know where it is, but I will see. But I know it's been maybe if omission like lesson notes, I would say yeah, maybe. But that is not uploaded. I disagree with you.
okay, except if I'm missing something, I'll go back to it again. But when I checked last, it wasn't there.
When you check when,
That was earlier this morning. Earlier this morning, sir.
okay, I will look at that as well. Jeremiah Ozonna.
Hello, Mr. Charles. Good evening.
Good evening.
So sorry, this class we just had. Who manages this too? I think is it the project manager manages this too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I could see that most of the work here, most of the work to be done is the BA. Anyway, you also said it, sir, that the BA does most of the job. That's
Okay,
what.
thank God. Thank God you remember that I said.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, Austin Njideka.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Charles. Thank you for the class so far.
And sorry, that BA does some of this. Leadership is not is a big work. Supervising, monitoring, and control is a big work on its own. So Njideka, you can continue.
Okay, thank you, sir. My question is during the example you gave, where you wrote a fire work frame or fire frame, I don't understand.
We have not done that. It's
Okay.
business analysis. I said most of the things there are business analysis, and I said we are going to start business analysis by Friday. Didn't I say that, class?
Yes, I said so.
Okay,
Yes, you
Yes,
said
thank
that.
you.
yes,
All
sir.
right. Okay.
That's good.
Sylvia. Sylvia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening, sir. Thank you for the class. My own, I don't know if it's a question or an observation. Okay, one is a question, another one is an observation. This thing you just did here now is what you want us to do in the Freedcamp portal, sir.
Can you say that again?
This thing you just did now, this thing you just imputed in these tax days now, this is exactly what you also want us to do.
Exactly.
Okay. Second one, that's why I said it's an observation. I noticed my own because I wanted to follow through while you were doing yours. It was already here. As you were doing your own, it was showing up in mine here. I don't know.
Okay, I'll look at it. I used is Anambra State that I used. Don't know if
Same for Lagos.
huh?
I'm hearing of
No, here is Abuja. Mine is Abuja, and it's Abuja group. Here.
Okay, I'll look at
it's
it.
same for
I think it's populated in other group as you are working.
Okay, I will check my setting. Maybe I populated it to another this and I'll check my setting. If that's the case, then you guys are very lucky. I'll check maybe I didn't I'll check some of the automations here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. And before we leave, quick one. Go back to this. So now you've created this and you come over here, you want to start work, receive projects brief. Okay, so you've come over here and you see you are planning now. This is the way you plan your work here. You come over here, you see due date. When are you going to do this? Whom are you going to assign it to? You can say assign it to PM, assign it to yourself. And I don't know who is the PM, so I will assign it to, this is Chineaba, is that, so I can say assign, but all of you here are project managers. So I say assign it to all. And then here, when is that? Give a date, plan it here, and today is, you can say, you do that on Friday. I'm not telling you that, I'm just giving you instances. So today is Friday is 28th. So, and you put it in progress. And you come over here, priority. This priority is very high. If you have any description you need to make, you can attach a note or a document here and done. So this is where you monitor it. If by 28 and you've not done this task, it's going to turn to red. And when you start seeing red, it means that you're having delays. That is a risk, you're having delays in some of your activities. And once you finish, you put it to completed. And that's how it's done. So I'll put it back to in progress. And that is how you expected to plan also. Whichever thing you need to do, assign, this is where assign work. And this is where you monitor, tell them when it's supposed to be due. And that's why if you have planned your projects, you have a project plan you are using to manage here, you don't need to be cracking your head, when will I assign? You already have it in your project plan. So from your project plan, you just be executing what is going on here. And that's it. All these tasks, that is how we are going to manage all of them here in Freedcamp, one after the other. And once you finish here, you're going to change to green. So you can see here is in progress. And all these ones, see there, you've not started. And if you are if you're having a delay, you see here you populate delay, you see red colors showing that there is a delay in your activity. So that's it. And here is for collaboration. We'll talk about all this. This is for filing. We'll talk about this discussion, milestone, time, calendar, and the file where you upload all the project file. And that's it. The last thing I want to, so that you can start work immediately. I will look at every other things later because of time. So if you still have a question, you can drop the question at our platform. I'll get back to you on that because I don't have time to address it now because I have another class waiting for me. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I wish you success as you hit the ground running.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Charles.
Thank you, Mr. Charles.
Thank you, everyone. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye.